Anyways, huh? What's that? Just go watch my last video to see why I'm dumping Matpat's body into this random lake here. And there we go. Sleep well, King. Salutes. What's that over there?
My ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better.
Ex-wife, huh? That's something I should really look into. Hello entire net and welcome to Cartoon Theory. In the last video I didn't exist, so today we're once again talking about Gravity Falls.
Oh, Gravity Falls, it is good to be back!
Gravity Falls is a show full of mysterious mysteries, including the man of mystery himself. We've seen over the course of the show how Grunkle Stan cheats, lies, and most importantly, can't be trusted. Listen to that dog talk backwards. That's cray-cray. But that's cray-cray.
Why you acting so cray-cray?
But just like he said, in the Season 2 episode Not What He Seems, the best episode of television, Grunkle Stan is shown to be not what he seems, as he's distrusted by Mabel and Dipper. But after the author is revealed, we never see them look into Grunkle Stan or his past. But as we heard earlier while I was discarding stuff,
my ex-wife still misses me, but her aim is getting better.
Ex-wife. This is literally never mentioned before or after since in the show. No, they don't get into the family tree that much in Gravity Falls, because clearly the whole Shermie Pines debacle, the writers also just don't know the times, dates, relationships between characters' families. Rest in peace, McGucket's forgotten son from episode 2. But I believe that, for some reason, the most amount of care and attention to detail they've put into one of these characters, that wasn't a main cast character, was Grunkle Stan's one-off joke ex-wife that appears in only episode 2. Fully, that is. Because there's many background details and lore that could truly figure out who the wife is. And more importantly, the situation and how they became X's instead of O's. Okay, that one sucked. How does the other guy do this for every single video for 13 years straight? Holy crap, 13 years is a long time. Can't wait till I'm that old. Throughout Gravity Falls, there's many mentions of Grunkle Stan's wild and just plain all over the place past. He's been all over the country doing scams and selling anything and everything cheap as soon as he was kicked out of his parents' place at a very young age. We even see some memories in the episode Dreamscapers. In this episode, we see the gang go into Stan's mind to stop Bill Cipher from getting Stan's safe code. And in one of the memories is him somehow ending up in a Colombian prison, another of him learning how to fight from his dad, and how his date actually went with Lazy Susan.
Non-specific excuse!
Yeesh.
This all shows how much history has gone into Grunkle Stan, to the point where I believe the writers just want to keep telling more and more and more. Just like this particular paragraph in the book Journal 3, a one-to-one recreation of what the literal Journal 3 would look like in the world of Gravity Falls. In the paragraph it states, Grunkle Stan getting married? Apparently he married a waitress named Marilyn Rosenstein in Las Vegas for 48 hours, but it turned out she was just trying to steal his car. A true scam artist, maybe she was the right one for him. Maybe she was the right one for him. How cute. They truly are meant to be together. But wait, that's yet another mention of Grunkle Stan's supposed ex-wife, and with loads of lore to boot. The mention of him getting married in Las Vegas is just like the end gag of the episode Seuss and the Real Girl. This episode was about Seuss having an anime yandere girl come to life with some magical AI, and at some point the AI bringing animatronics to life. Not only is this one of the best episodes of the show, predicted Doki Doki Literature Club 3 years early, with Doki Doki even coming out on the 3-year anniversary, but it also had animatronics come to life only a month before the release of Five Nights at Freddy's. Theories can never escape the infinite hold of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. In fact, this episode even predicted the fact that post-Scott Cawthon FNAF would have AI to be the core aspect of the series, instead of remnants of unalive children haunting the animatronics. But the main point of interest of this episode is Grunkle Stan's B-plot, where he must fight a haunted animatronic badger that represents the future that's surpassing the withered old Grunkle Stan, who then gets saved by the tin can that represents his old time, not quite giving up just yet.
How's about you and me hit the town? These old has-beens are going to Vegas!
We're going to Vegas. This plotline is then followed in the end gag of this very episode, which would be interesting enough with how we actually get to see the Vegas mentioned of his ex-wife. But then we hear the song at the end say, "We're gonna get married. It's a great idea. Who are you two chumps? This was a mistake. What?" Which before was just kind of a funny gag at the end of an awesome episode, is now a glimpse of what might have happened with this so-called Marilyn. In the same sort of way at the Wax Stan being a glimpse of Grunkle Stan's brother. In that episode Headhunters, Grunkle Stan has had a whole funeral and service for his quote-unquote murder of Wax Stan, which fans have since seen as Grunkle Stan grieving over losing his twin brother all those years ago. It was once played off as a joke, but fans now see it as something sad after knowing what we now know. Though that's nowhere as unserious as Stan's ex-wife. Remember that Grunkle Stan doesn't actually feel bad about losing Marilyn, to even the point of making the best joke of the show.
But her aim is getting better.
Now, something interesting about this name Marilyn is that we actually see this name pop up. No, not in the show, silly. Like I said before, this is literally never mentioned before or since in the show. But I didn't say anything about another show.
I think we just found our loophole. Literally. Wop wop!
I'm so cool, like geez. Now, I want you to take a look at this scene and notice if there's anything interesting about it.
Oh, Marilyn?
You get a Clonthorne as Gravity Falls Grunkle Stan ex-wife. Oh, wait. I just said it, didn't I? Well, don't worry, we're gonna need more evidence than this anyway. Now, if you somehow don't know, The Owl House is a show that ran from 2020 to 2023, being run by Gravity Falls legend Dana Terrace, known for being a storyboard artist, revisionist, and animator for the hit show. In their show, The Owl House, there's Ida Clonthorne, a full of zest getting up there in age con artist, and sometimes criminal, who tries to be a good family person, and has a smart aleck sibling who they don't always get along with, but they still love and accept each other. Even after one of them does a bad thing that kind of ruins their life. Yes, that was intentionally comparing Grunkle Stan and Ida, and no, it was not subtle. These two are literally meant for each other. If not, then they're at least of the same mold to the point where they're almost the same character. The Owl House is usually set in the Boiling Isles, a world full of witches defined by their pointy ears. The main story being of Luce, a girl from the human world deciding to stay in this dimension of monsters. We never really leave this location for most of the show, except for the mid-season finale for The Owl House, Yesterday's Lie. We see this scene while the cast are trying to find magic items in the human world.
Oh, Marilyn? Yeah, she tried to pay for a latte with a live raccoon a couple months ago. Marilyn?
This show began with Ida stealing items from the human world to resell as knickknacks and such. But who's to say she didn't explore around and eventually end up in Las Vegas? Ida's 100% too much of a risk-taking, fortune-seeking bad girl to not have explored this capitalist land of America. And even in this image, we see that she's wearing headgear to disguise her pointy witch ears, just like how Luce did for human ears in the witch world. Now, something we must ask, is this enough? Because I believe this itself would be enough for me to be like, confirmed! But not only do we have the 1000% canon book saying that ex-wife was named Marilyn, but then Ida's human self being named that too, the book saying that she conned Grunkle Stan of all people, which perfectly fits in with Ida's shifty character, but there's even more connections. In the comic Gravity Falls Lost Legends, where we see Dipper and Pacifica team up for the first time since the Northwest Mansion episode. In the comic, we see Dipper using a different journal than the classic Journal 3 to solve the case. And in this Journal 1, we see none other than the iconic Boiling Isles written just a bit off screen. And in the background, we see Ida Saf with a little Albert inside, Slenderman? Dude, that's just literally Slenderman. What does this mean? Does it just stop at predicting any horror games, but also just has creepypastas as part of their world? Where does it stop? Is Jeff the Killer canon? My wife would love that. Sorry for calling you out, honey, but Jeff the Killer is funny. And lastly, literally just a wanted poster for Ida. It's her exact hair and bangs, the little ball earrings, and her iconic pointy elf ears. This Connexie shows much more than just a little Easter egg of her name and personality matching each other. They literally show up in Gravity Falls, just like Slenderman. This next evidence is the biggest, so I'll get into the context of how it came to be. So, in 2018, Gravity Falls The Complete series released. nearly 2 years after the release of Journal 3, and with it, a commentary track for nearly every episode of Gravity Falls by the creators of the show. But for one special episode, The Land Before Swine, we have an in-character commentary track from none other than Grunkle Stan. In this commentary track, we hear him talk about the episode for a few minutes, and then the rest of it going off on tangents. We love to see it. We hear more about the holy mackerel and Stan's fez and the whole story with it. A cute moment of Seuss and Grunkle Stan bonding like father and son. How cute. And, most importantly, this clip of Grunkle Stan talking about his ex-wife.
You probably want to hear about my ex-wife, right? There's not much to tell. I bring her up every now and then. I tell jokes. You know, I was actually married for less than a day. Vegas situation. We reached for the same slot machine handle and it was love at first sight. Marilyn.
Not only was this the same story as the Vegas situation, but the theory is in the details.
Had hair like an airline stewardess and a neon pink shirt that said, over 30 and very flirty. Man, I was putty in her hands. Should have seen the way she threw dice. One time right at my head. Turns out she only married me to distract me while she stole my car and all my winnings. And I guess her name was fake and her hair was fake, but you know, the love was real. She really was the one that got away. Sometimes I still think of her. That pale bingo hall skin, that one weirdly sharp tooth. You know, I think I learned a little bit of a lesson from that, which is you open your heart and blood comes out and you die. So, you know, try not to be a sap like I was.
And over in 30 very flirty shirt, pale bingo hall skin, and one weirdly sharp tooth. I don't know if you noticed, but this perfectly describes Ida. And not only that, it was also the exact same shirt Ida wore throughout the show. This commentary track was released in 2018, the exact same year that the Owl House was greenlit for production, to its later release of 2020. With all this evidence, we can see the full story now. Ida, wanting to make it rich, like usual, goes to the human realm. Goes to another place in Vegas, where she meets Stan while reaching for the same slot machine handle. Yet another con man trying to make it big, and indeed he did. But he's already head over heels for this unknown to him witch named Ida. So then when Ida gambled, flirted, and ended up even getting married to Stanford, he was ready to go all the way with Marilyn. But this was all a long con. While Stan was at the altar, you could hear a car whizzing by. But not just any car, that's Stan's car. He stole not only his car, but his winnings. And let's not forget, his heart. Stan will always see her as the one that got away, but to Ida, it was just another con. Ida has a they-them at home anyway. They don't need an old con man human to make her habits even worse than they already are. So, with all that said, is this canon? I say, why not? Unlike some other theories that connect shows together that makes you question why they don't interact more or even at all. Looking at you, Rick and Morty x Gravity Falls. This one fits perfectly in the world of each other and doesn't contradict anything about the lore of each other. Also, who really thinks that Ida as Grunkle Stan's ex-wife is a terrible thing anyway? Is that a theory that adds character development or extra schlock that could fill in a whole episode or even an arc of a show that'll never get it? Instead, it's just a little night in Vegas that lets the one slip away. Even though they really are perfect for each other. But hey, that's just a theory. A cartoon theory. Thanks for watching. Welcome back to the Super Amazing in Car Tournament, where last time I didn't exist. In honor of the late Gravity Falls, today's question: what's the better sequel to Gravity Falls? The Owl House, Amphibia, or Rick and Morty? Comment below to cast your vote for the better Gravity Falls spiritual successor.